adoption, my sister Kim Offit, and we have some people who are literally here who are going through the process who are going to share their story, and I'm excited about it. Praise God. Indeed, Kim. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you. And bless God just for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. And I'm so thankful for this partnership, Willie, just for the opportunity for us to spread the awareness. And I heard you guys when he said, how many of you guys in here support foster care and adoption? Everybody clap their hands, right? So I want to see all of y'all in the back when we get done. When we want to get that name, that email, that phone number, so we can follow up, back up with you. When I was thinking about what I wanted to share with you guys today, and I'm going to also be introducing this lovely couple next to me, but Jeremiah 29:11 came to me. And I'm sure that you guys can quote that one. For I know the plans that I have for you, says the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, to give you hope and a future. And that is what we're here to do, to give our children hope, to give them a future. And so as I think about this, and I think about you two, come on up here a little bit, a little closer to me. This is Jamie and Corey Smith. And you guys, I know you're in the process of adopting right now, and your journey has been a long journey, but I know you didn't wake up, one morning and just decide that you want to adopt. None of us do that, right? We don't wake up just like, oh, let's adopt. But tell us, when did you just know that that this was God's plan for you?
So for me, I've always wanted to adopt. I remember my husband and I are from Oklahoma, and on Wednesdays they would have this segment on the news that was Wednesday's Children. I see some heads shaking, so you're familiar. And I often wondered as a young child, why would these children be looking for a home? We both came from loving and supportive homes, and so it broke my heart that some kids at different ages, various ages, were looking for a place to get the love that we had. So I've always wanted to adopt.
Well, I was the one that didn't want to adopt right away. I wasn't a natural child. But as I kept praying on it, my wife kept talking about it. As I got older, I realized that I grew up with kids that were adopted, that I had no idea they were adopted. And as I was doing that, the story of how Abraham took in Lot very much appealed to me. How he transformed his life. I'm like, God, what if I'm in this situation to help be a vessel to transform a life? And so after much prayer and sharing with my wife, then I decided, let's go ahead and go for this.
I love that.
Come on, man, God!
Say that. There's a couple of things that you said that just really stood out to me. You've always knew that you wanted to adopt. You didn't. And I'm sure there's many husbands in here that's just like, nah, that's not. I know they talking about adoption and stuff, but that's not what I'm about to do. No, but I'm here to tell you, if you have a praying wife, and y'all together, y'all are one. So just go ahead and get ready because it's going down.
It's happening.
It's going down.
Yes,
it's happening. And I'm thankful for that. Bless God. So you guys have a son. He's 12 years old. Tell us a little bit about him.
Our son is Narvan, and he came into our home at 11. He's 12 now, and one of the things that we've talked about is when I saw his picture online, I was just struck. There was just something inside of me that desired to be connected to that young man. There was a resiliency that he had on his face. He had a little swagger. He likes orange. He has a little orange shirt on. He was cute. He was adorable. But there was something underneath that, because we don't always look at what's just in front of us. We look at what's beneath someone. And I felt like he had a story, and I felt like that there was something that I could add to his life. And I instantly pushed the button, and then he received his caseworker received our information.
So Narvan is a regular 12 energetic boy that I have to, in my 40s, have to work hard to keep up with. Hence the messed up knee. But he's fun, likes to make people laugh, loves to put on my clothes, which is too big for him. Just a regular kid, and I think about it, and I think about, as much as I might talk about Narvan, you can't wear that. Sometimes I kind of get a thing inside of me as a father to think that that's something that he wants to do. He wants to put on his father's clothing. Maybe he wants to walk in those footsteps. So I feel this huge responsibility that, you know, I'm raising up a prince to be a king someday.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Did you want to say something?
Indeed, no, just proud of you guys. The process is really, really long, and you know, I just want to make sure, like I was gonna do it offline, but you know, just publicly, like I want to give you my personal number. So as he goes through those transitions of identity, because that's what we go through, like let's just partner together because it takes a village to raise a child. I would love to assist you in any way possible to make sure his life is amazing. I appreciate your sacrifice. Thank you guys.
One last question for you guys. There may be people in the audience who've been thinking about it, who've been praying about it, who's considering fostering and adopting. What would be your final words to them? What would be your words of encouragement?
The message that I heard, because we wanted to adopt younger versus an older child. We've heard a lot of the messages that you probably have heard, but I will say that God continued to say faith over fear. And if we say that we believe that God can and He will, then we need to take that into action. Because I will tell you honestly, as much as a 12-year-old brings a different flavor into our life, if I didn't have that young man in my life, I would have a piece of myself missing. He fills that part of my heart that was been missing all this time. So I say, don't let the fear get you. Let faith walk you through the process.
You know, I always say it is a process. It's not necessarily quick, but best things in life aren't necessarily quick. And we actually started a long time ago, about 10 years ago. You know, I was military. When we get closer, I deploy, you know, different things of that nature. It took it a while. But Habakkuk keeps coming back to me that though it tarries, wait for it, it will surely come. So I just had to keep praying and meditating on that because it wasn't always easy. But God's word is true, and it will come.
Amen. Yes, if I can just close with this, I thank you guys for listening. I thank you guys for hearing this story. And I know that there are those of you in here who've been praying about it. I just ask that you just come back in the back. Give us your information. Let us walk this journey with you as well. Because you're right, you could have a Willie, you could have a Willie, you could have a Willie. So sincerely, you can change the trajectory of these children's lives. But it all starts with you. Thank you.
Show your love and help the Christian service.